All right, sports fans, welcome back. And you're still on Sport Fans Live Podcast. Here we talk football, we talk sports, we talk boxing, we talk martial art, we say MMA and everything athletics, running, jumping, swimming, basketball, volleyball, anything you want to talk about, we here live for you. Don't forget, on today's edition, we'll also be dissecting Diamond League that will be going down today. We'll be giving you updates on Diamond League's appearances expected on today's Diamond League. Still your home of sport. Well, follow us on our social media handles at Sport Fans Live Podcast on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Twitter, we are all present on all social media platforms. My name is Akpors Baba, and I still got my main man, Jiggy Banti.
On time.
All right, Jiggy, let's talk about our flop of the season on the Premier League. We're still talking about our flop of the season. Now, let me take you down to another player, Jiggy. What happens to my very good friend, Raheem Sterling? Expensive signing for Chelsea.
Raheem Sterling, yeah. Raheem Sterling.
But can you tag Raheem Sterling a flop?
I'll just say he's just been himself. He's just average as he should be.
Has Raheem Sterling always been an average player?
The truth is, Raheem Sterling for me is an average player. The only thing is, reason why.
You mean me, bro?
Yeah, no. But that's the fact.
Oh, no.
The truth is,
I think he's above average.
No. Above average is where? How would you qualify him?
He's a talented footballer.
Yes.
He has given so much to the
average
game.
Players are talented footballers too.
All right.
The thing is, I'll say he's one of the. I can't put lucky. Okay, let me just use that word. Permit me to use that.
All right.
He's one of the lucky players in this game of football. Reason, he has played for teams that have performed very well. That has good players. He has played with teams that have.
He did wonders with Liverpool.
That is the same thing I'm saying. That's the same thing I'm saying.
He
has played with. He's
the third highest goal scorer in Man City.
Same thing we're saying. He has played with.
Don't you think?
He has played with good players.
Don't you think it's Chelsea that affected him?
That is where he would have proved us a point.
He did, no.
Which point did he prove?
I think he's the highest goal scorer this season.
How many goals?
I don't know.
When you talk about player proving a point where there is nothing, we're talking about a player that stands out. In Chelsea right now, and if we talk about players that stood out for this season, you can't call him. For crying out loud, you can't call him. That's why the fact that he started the season with them. You get. So the truth is, for me, he's just been the player he is. You get. He's just been that average player he is.
Is the signing of Raheem Sterling described as a flop? Is he a flop? Premium flop? Maximum flop? Iberibe's flop.
I don't want to qualify him as a flop.
Okay.
I would just say he's just
he had a bad season.
He just had a bad season.
So he's a flop.
But he's an average player.
So he's a flop this season.
For this season, like I said,
we're looking at the season
don't force
signing.
me to use that word. The truth is, I don't want to say he's an average. He's just him this season.
Okay.
I can't say flop, because if you call him flop, then come on, what do you call Kai Havertz?
Okay, so let's go down.
We have a lot of players in Chelsea that really messed up this season.
Let's leave Kai Havertz out of this. I think Kai Havertz is a fantastic player. Only has issues with the formation and tactical abilities of the Chelsea players.
How? Why?
He struggled to adapt to the formation of the Chelsea. £90 million is
since when did he started struggling with the team?
He did wonders with them.
When? This is the second season.
Yeah, the first season.
Second season. He's
he
part
was
of
their first.
Yeah.
In the first season, I think he was among their top goal scorers.
He is part of the players that are causing problems in Chelsea today. Part of the players that they signed with good money and they didn't perform.
So he's a flop?
Kai Havertz, crying out loud, is a flop.
Maximum flop.
Maximum flop.
Nah.
I see no reason why we should.
So if you are to loan him out, loan him to a team.
Currently, right now.
Yes.
In Premier League.
Anywhere in the world.
Bayern Leverkusen.
Oh, okay. You should go back to Bayer Leverkusen.
You've
been kind enough. I was thinking Enyimba or Wori should have been better for him.
Yeah. No,
so let's see how
what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to put him back in a place where he can perform.
Let's say Asek Mamusa. All right. Now let's move down to another player. No, calm down now. We're talking about lobby stars that their social media handle. Anytime you have a big story, he links every player to lobby stars. I remember when Ronaldo was about leaving Man U and the guy dropped a headline. Lobby stars not interested in signing Ronaldo, and I was like, "Hello."
Let me surprise you about that story. A player, one of the members of the team came out to like say, no, there's no story like this, so it wasn't necessary.
No, but I love the buzz the guy was creating with the social media handle. I think he's a good social media officer.
But
now let's get back to the flop. I
Yeah.
have this guy, a very talented player, did wonders with Liverpool, moved down to Barcelona, struggled, loaned down to Bayern Munich, struggled, came back, and Aston Villa signed him. Felipe Coutinho. Is he a flop this season?
Felipe Coutinho, for crying out loud, he was a promising player. He's this kind of player that you can say he's the future. But
at what age? Which future?
at Liverpool.
Okay,
in
sorry.
Liverpool.
Okay,
While he was in Liverpool.
I know. I thought you.
The moment he left Liverpool, he's a good example of going to where you're not needed. For crying out loud, he wasn't needed there. You understand? Even before he left, there was a time the coach, Jurgen Klopp, his coach, was crying out loud that this player, he has plans for him. He made mention of that. And we all saw how this young man pushed his way out of Liverpool. At the moment when Liverpool needed him the most, you get. He's supposed to be one of the players in Liverpool that has a good records, you get. But for crying out loud, he left at the point the team needed him the most. And what happened? He went to Barcelona, couldn't get the space to play. For me, seeing him leaving to Barcelona as of that time, it was a good move.
Okay.
But the only thing is, he went there but couldn't perform. It was
the style of play?
Not the style of play, because to an extent, I think Barcelona would have accommodated his style of play. But the problem is, he went there at the wrong time.
Okay.
When we still have a player like Lionel Messi, Antoine
Coutinho,
Griezmann.
Coutinho in Aston Villa.
He's a flop.
What kind of grade?
Premium flop.
Premium.
Because I think it don't be like say, you've gone beyond this place.
Yeah.
Coming back to a team like that.
You know why I agree with you, and I agree with the premium flop is a player of Felipe Coutinho's ability shouldn't be struggling.
Should be teaching them.
Shouldn't be struggling coming on from the bench for a team like Aston Villa, where you have the likes of Lucas doing wonders in that midfield, and you ask yourself, why is Coutinho struggling in that team? Well, I think he's a premium flop, and he should be loaned to Ifeanyi FC.
Anyway, maybe Bendelish. Oh, sorry,
no.
Bendelish is even doing well.
No, Bendelish is doing well. He should be loaned to Ifeanyi FC.
Or maybe Kano Pillars.
No, Kano Pillars is a wonderful team.
Okay,
Ekanemi Warriors.
You just got Ifeanyi
Yes.
very well.
Ekanemi Warriors.
No, Ifeanyi is okay.
I think he should be okay with that kind of thing.
I think Ifeanyi you just
loan him to Morocco Swallows in South Africa.
Or better still, you can just loan him to Onsha FC.
Yeah. Twitter FC hangout.
He will just be my teammate.
Okay, let's go back to the flop, Jiggy. Let's talk another good flop. A very portable flop. He's a very Richarlison. 1 goal in 27 appearances for Tottenham Hotspur, costing the team 60 million whopping pounds. 60 million pounds. And just a goal all through the season to show for 60 million.
I think, yes, flop accepted. Premium flop accepted. But the truth is, he still has a landing. Why I said that is because we saw what happened. We all saw what happened to the managerial
issue in
Tottenham Hotspur.
You feel he was affected by it?
Very well.
Okay.
Very well. Because they had a certain Jose Mourinho there.
Oh.
Left him for a Nuno Espirito Santo that stayed for just 6 months.
Okay.
Maybe I don't even add 1 month add to that one.
But he was signed this season.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Instability of coaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they now brought in an Antonio Conte.
Okay.
That met him there. And Antonio Conte is the kind of coach that whenever he goes to
unstable, yeah.
yes, he has his own kind of players.
Yes.
And when he came in, he requested for that. Despite the fact that we knew very well Tottenham Hotspur wasn't ready to bring out the money to buy players, but at least for an experienced coach like that, they had to break the bank for some of the players. We saw him bring in Kulusevski and the rest. You get, but then the truth is, I think the managerial body in the team affected him, affected the style of play, affected everything about him. But beside that, it still doesn't take out the fact that it's a flop, a premium flop for that price.
A premium flop.
Premium flop.
Now, I think Richarlison should be voted the flop of the season.
Very well. Very well.
If you vote Richarlison flop of the season, what happens to Joe Aribo?
Joseph Ayodele Aribo. The truth is,
I think he should be crowned the king of flops.
No. You can't put him ahead of him. You can't. The truth is, ask yourself, where is he coming from?
He
Glasgow
came all the way
Rangers.
from Rangers
Uh-huh.
to Southampton,
Where is Richarlison coming from?
Everton.
So what are we saying? So
Okay.
I think
So what happened to Joe Aribo? So much expectations.
the truth is at times the kind of hype we give some players is beyond what they can offer.
Okay.
Joseph Ayodele Aribo was doing well with a team like Glasgow Rangers. We all know what
an
is happening.
average team.
Yeah, an average team.
Yeah.
Not even
But
Celtic.
Southampton is also an average team.
Yes, but let me remind you something. Joseph Ayodele Aribo struggled in Glasgow Rangers for one reason. He did well, quite okay, but he struggled because he wasn't setting in a particular wing. He played the striking force, played the midfield.
Yeah.
And they still used him for wing back. So at the time, he couldn't adapt to one style, one place, or understand what he was really doing. So now bringing him to a team like Southampton, that is struggling, that is looking for a way to breathe, look for oxygen.
Water they swallow
Make them
them.
breathe. So you get. So with that alone, it didn't give him a landing ground to like play well. So to an extent, I feel Joseph Ayodele Aribo.
Is he a flop?
Oh yes, it is. He's a flop. But
Okay.
he's just
I have this controversial one I'm going to talk about. Antony, Manchester United. Is he a flop this season?
for the price tag, yes, it's a flop for me.
But he did one of the Makosa dancing and Willow Logomba
With the
his
style of
legs.
dribble.
Yes. And at the end, dribbled himself.
Like you always say, there are levels to this flop thing.
Okay.
It's just a simple flop, not a premium or
Okay, not a proud one.
not a proud one. But the truth is,
Okay, I
for the
agree with
price
you.
tag, £100 million. Come on, we're talking about good money here.
Okay.
Good money. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to bring a comparison here that will just shock the whole world. But the truth is, I think £100 million. It would have been better for Man United to use that money to bring in an aged Zlatan Ibrahimovic back to the team.
He would have done better than Antony. You know, Antony.
Compared to what Antony is doing.
Zlatan cannot dance. Antony was doing leg work for them.
The truth is, Antony was
They
doing.
should have all man you needed was to sign Zlatan or the video to be singing at the stadium,
The
and
problem,
Antony will be giving
you
them
know,
leg work.
or better still, bring one of the biggest chefs in the world to come on.
Who? Chef Choma. Oh, Ida Basi.
Basi.
So she will now be cooking for Jiggy with you in the face. Antony, you know, I love Antony. At the moment you see him, he dribbles one player, the next thing he's waving his leg like wave your banners is in 22. And he's doing like the wave of flag of Super Eagles and not having a direction of where to go with his flop.
The truth is, let me see to one point before we leave on
Okay.
this topic. The truth is, Antony, what he did this season is unnecessary thing. He did what wasn't necessary.
I think he was struggling to adapt to the pace of
There's
the
no
team.
need to adapt. There's nothing to adapt to the team.
There is.
The ball is there. Give a simple pass. What do you want to do? You want to be the Neymar of the team? You want to be the Lionel Messi of the team? You want to be the Ronaldo of the team? We all saw how Ronaldo, with all his skills in Manchester United, had to drop it down to adapt to the flow of the team. I think he would have watched clips of some of the best dribblers in Manchester United to understand that they don't do that.
Okay. Welcome. We're still watching us. Keeping it real. Your comments, keep them coming in. Your calls, we're going to be taking your calls, 1 or 2 calls, and take your reaction on this particular topic, why you have to be there. The phone numbers are being displayed on the screen for you to call us. Remember, you have to be on a very quiet background for you to get to us. But keep the comments coming in. We're going to take the comment from all the social media handles. We'll react to some if we can, but rest assured we're going to take all the comments. Let's move down. We just talked about the flop of the season. Like I said, drop your comment. Who is your flop of the season on the Premier League? If you're a Premier League fan, be you Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, or Man City, any club you support, who is the flop of the season for you? For we here, I said Richarlison is my flop of the season. £60 million for his striker with a single goal in 27 league appearance. That is the biggest flop you can ever be on the Premier League for me. Then you have Jiggy. Jiggy, who is your flop of the season?
For me, I'll go with Kai Havertz.
Okay.
Playing 2 seasons in one team and still not delivering. £90 million.
That is a huge loss of money. You can use that money to turn Anambra into a little Miami. When you invest that kind of money, ask Soludo what I'm talking about.